My al pastor tacos, topped with a fresh pineapple jalapeno salsa. So let's talk about the marinade for the al pastor. First, I'm starting off with a little sweet onion. And this is really gonna be where, well, if you've ever had al pastor, you'll know what this next ingredient's gonna be, and that's pineapple. All right, so what I'm doing is taking off the exterior of the pineapple, not doing it how we'd normally do it. We really take that curve to really not waste the pineapple. This, I'm actually gonna use these in the cooking process with the al pastor. We're gonna take this, use some of this pineapple for the marinade and some of the pineapple for a salsa. Break this up. Now a little chipotle. Now this is called Chipotle and Adobo. So we'll drop 2 of those in. There we go. Distilled white vinegar, the old school vinegar. We're gonna hit a little bit of that in there. Some garlic cloves. Now, I'm gonna need a liquid in there that's gonna work with this, gonna give that nice sweetness. Of course, we'd wanna use lime juice, lemon juice. This one right here, a little OJ. So to the fridge for about a ½ cup of OJ. Now the cast of characters you would definitely expect, a little cumin, some Mexican oregano, that really nice, big, fragrant oregano. That's the type we're talking about here. Some smoked paprika. There we go, just a touch of that, and of course, a little kosher salt. That's too much kosher salt. Okay. This marinade, now here's the thing I warn you. You know that you want to marinate it and you want to go long and you want to really let the flavors build. I don't think more than 4 hours for this one, okay? There we go. So the bone-in cross-cut shoulder, drop that in. Drop it, well, all that marinade. And this can go for, you can take this to the fridge or you could just let it go on the countertop. We're looking for about 2, maybe 3 hours. Okay, kind of move it around here a little bit. All right, seal this up and we are good to go. Now let's talk about the salsa. Now, get some onion. So the salsa is gonna be pretty straightforward. We're gonna let the jalapeno work with the sweetness of the pineapple. Really nice fine dice, just so it kind of just melts into it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sear off this pork shoulder. A little bit of oil. This should be pretty screaming hot. I'm gonna reserve the marinade and throw it in there in just a second because I'm gonna braise this off in the wood-fired oven. Wood-fired oven, your oven, convection oven, whatever it might be. So we're gonna drop this in, should make some noise. Just what I was looking for. Back to the salsa. Okay, so all this is in. Now, what's this need? Absolutely some jalapeno. Roll it around a few times. And again, a really nice fine dice. Get a little Fresno chili into this. Again, that same idea. There we go. So you got the spice, tropical flavor coming through from that pineapple. Just give this a little bit more dice, and we really would like to let this have some time to come together. It'll help the jalapeno mellow out a little bit. This is really the crowd pleaser on top of this taco. Okay, we'll drop that in. Let me take a look at this. There we go, nice little sear. We're gonna get a good amount of liquid in there, but let me sear off that side first. Back to the cilantro. That might be a little much. Now I'll roll that cilantro, kind of like when you're working with basil and you were trying to get that chiffonade. And of course, what it needs is a little salt and a little lime juice. There, that goes in. Touch. Now, anytime I'm gonna throw lime juice in, of course I'm gonna throw a little lime zest because that gives that real great citrus flavor without all the acid. So we'll just give it a little zest. Remember, once you've cut that lime, it's real hard to zest it. I'll just roll that a few times. And press. You would be amazed. Now listen, I'll tell you about this because I think you've seen it. You might not have a lime press. Here's what happens. Citrus is super expensive different times of the year. So if you're gonna do it, get everything out of it. This should almost turn it inside out. But I still watch people all the time just sitting there wringing it with their hands. Maybe they'll get a fork in there and kind of give it a little bit of work. You cannot beat in any way, shape, or form a citrus press. So look at this. Everything out of there. See how it turns almost inside out? And awesome for the compost. Okay. Give that a little stir. And we'll let those jalapenos just start to work and break down inside of all that onion and pineapple. All right, look at this. Seared off nice, good crust on both sides. Told you to hold on to the marinade exactly. We're gonna take this leftover marinade, pour it in on top, okay? Don't worry, that's not all the liquid. You need to go about halfway on this for the liquid to really get that braising, to get that to work in there, so it's gonna be shredding apart. So we get a little chicken stock, low sodium, because we've already got enough of our own seasonings that we put in there. So we hit some of the chicken stock in about halfway up. This is gonna become the lid for this al pastor. So what happens, I'm gonna throw them right on top. So we're gonna get the flavor and we're gonna get all those enzymes working to break this down to make it super tender, like that. Grab a towel, into the oven, 350 degrees, 2, maybe 3 hours. We'll be able to check it, just seeing how fork tender it is. But how cool is that? Using the pineapple as a lid. Listen, al pastor, the Guy Fieri way, hanging out at the ranch, but just take a look at what we're dealing with right there. You have the skins of the pineapple sitting on top of that beautiful pork shoulder that had a chance to marinate, braised it off a little chicken stock and the marinade itself. We'll let this cool down for a second. This is what we've been waiting for. I'm telling you what, you are gonna flip when you try this. So I'm just giving this a quick little chop, and I'm just gonna drop this right back in. So look at that. Oh. Now I've got some great condiments over here, one being this pineapple salsa that I made. That pineapple with the vinegar, with the adobo, the chipotle,